I'll give row index here, and that should do it. So now my entire array has been sorted by the second column. Alright, so if you have any questions or if anyone did not understand what just happened, you can ask me. Okay. So to index a two-dimensional array, you need to give the row index and then comma separated value of the column index, right? So if I have this array here, we've learned extensively how to slice this. So to slice it, you essentially give the row index and then comma the column index. So if I were to give row number 0 and 1, so or 0 and 2, so this row and this row will be selected, and similarly I can give column index. Let's say I want column 1 and 3, so this column and this column will be selected. So if I do this, uh, I get 7 comma 2 because that is the only thing that's overlapping. So yeah, so you can say that, okay, now I want all the columns. For all the columns, I'll just give this. Now I'll get the first 0th row and row number 2, index number 2. This is what is returned, right? So now if you want to sort the array, uh, then you can also give 2 first and then 0 later. So if you do this, you get this row is returned first and then this row is returned later. Okay, so if you can do this, then if you can figure out a way to get this row index in such a way that uh, this particular column, right, the second column, according to the question, you want to sort the array by the second column. So if you can get the row index in such a way that the second column is sorted, then we can just give this here as an index and we'll get the array, the whatever the answer uh, is to the question, right? So what I've done is that first of all, to get the second column, you'll have to do this, right? How do you get the second column? This is how you get the second column, right? And if I do arc sort here, so arc sort is a method which sorts a given one-dimensional array and returns the index. So it does not return the elements, it returns the index, right? So if I get the index back, I'll call it the row index of the sorted array, and then I'll give it back here to get my output. Okay. All right. All right. So next question is that you have to find the frequency um, of the different characters in a string, and I have to return them in a dictionary. So Yeah, basically we'll have to loop through the string, right? So let's say this is the string that we're given. Then you have to loop through it, right? So you'll have to say for character in S, and then you have to have an output dictionary defined first. Um, now you can either write an if or else condition, right? Uh, or you can use the get method. So first I'll write the if and else condition, and then I'll solve the same thing using the get method. I'll say that if character is already in your dictionary, uh, then you will add one to it. Else you will you will say that it is equal to 1. Okay, so this is what we were expecting. Uh, G is 2, O is 3, and so on. Rest of them are 1. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. There's one more way of doing this, and that is using a method called get. So if I didn't write the if else condition, right, and if I directly do this, if I don't write the if else condition, you'll see that the code will break. Code will break because you're trying to set a value in the dictionary for this character, but if it doesn't exist already, then yeah, so it will give you a key error. So you have to write the if else condition. That if it is already there, then add 1 to it. If it's not there, then set it equal to 1. Now, now there's a method, a dictionary method called get, right? So, so we don't need the if else condition if we are going to use that get method. So we can just say that uh, this is equal to get. So now the get method takes in 2 arguments. Uh, it will take the value, it will take the key, so it will take the key, and the other is a default value. So what if you don't find this key in this dictionary, then return this value, right? And then we'll add 1 to it. So if it so the get method takes in 2 arguments. One is the key and other is the default value. So if it finds the key, then it'll return the value which is associated to this particular key in this dictionary. If it doesn't find it, it will return 0. And then we'll add 1 to it. And there you go. That's it. Alright, so next question is that we want to concatenate list of dictionaries to create a single dictionary. Um, this question is simple if uh, there are no overlapping keys, as in the example. In the example, you're not seeing any keys that are overlapping. Okay, but what if there are overlapping keys, and what if the question says that uh, if there are overlapping keys, uh, some their values, right? So for example, if this also had, if this had 4 also, then the output 4 should be 50. So there's an update, there's a method called update. Okay, let's copy this dictionary. Um, there's a list of dictionaries. So this is our list of dictionaries. Now, first of all, let's look at that method. What does that method do actually? If I have B1, this looks like this. Then there's a D2, which looks like um, now if I do D2 dot update, so this is called the update method, right? D2 dot update D1, and then if I check out D2, it will look like this. So now the problem is that B did not become 3, right? B, so originally the question was easy because you could have just created a new dictionary, right? An output dictionary, and then just use the update method to append the dictionaries together. But now the question says that you also have to sum the values of the overlapping keys. Then the problem becomes a little difficult, right? Uh, hmm? So how will we solve this? See, the original problem can be directly solved with update. So I can say that for B in this list of dictionary, And let's also create an output. Output as a dictionary. Now you can say you can just say out dot update d, right? And then if I print my output, I get this. This is what I was originally expecting, but the value of 4 here, I wanted to be 50, but I have gotten 10 here because the update method is not summing up these two values, 40 and 10. It is just erasing the old value and updating it with the new value. So 40 got removed and instead we got 10. Right? So this was easy, but now what we are expecting is slightly difficult. So it's not actually difficult, but we have already seen the get method here. So yeah, that's what we are going to use. Uh, so uh, so basically what I'll do is I'll create a list of all the keys, right? So uh, so we'll create a list of keys, um, all the keys, all the unique keys. And how do we do that? D dot key keys for the in list of links. Um, okay. So all keys the list for D in list. So I'll say all keys dot append B dot keys. That should be extend. Extend. Now list converted to a list. Call it all keys. Yep. So now we have this. Now let's convert. We want to remove the duplicates also. So I'll say set of this, and then my duplicates are removed. Now I'm going to say for I in this output is a dictionary for I in set of all keys. Then I'll say that out of I is equal to, so if I were to do a sum of list, this is how it works, right? So yeah, now I want to do a sum of a list, and this list uh, D dot get I, otherwise 0, or D in list of digits. This way I should get my output. Yep, there you go. So 4 is now 50, 5 is 50, 6 is 60. This is what I wanted. So yeah, this whole thing then is my solution. Okay, so what we have used here is a bit of list comprehension, right? And we have used the get method, right? So essentially, let me explain this code one more time. So the first objective was to get all the keys in our list of dictionaries. So how did we get all the keys? We looped through our list of dictionaries and we basically appended all the keys into a single list. And then we looped through the set of all the keys. Why set? Because we didn't want to loop through uh, duplicate keys, right? So we loop through the set of all the keys, and then for each key, uh, right? For each key in the we set the value for each key in the output dictionary. To set the value, what we did was we used list comprehension. So we said that okay, uh, for for each dictionary in the list of dictionaries, right? So this is what it is doing for D in the list of dictionary. Try to get this key, right? Try to get this key. Try to get the value for this key. If you don't get it, set it to 0, right? So get the value for this key. If you don't get it, set it for 0, and we are putting all of this in a list and then taking the sum of it. So this is how we are getting the output that we wanted. So yeah, slightly complicated solution there. All right. Right, so this is a trivial question. It says that write a program to add ing at the end of a given string, and the length should be at least 3. If the given string is already ending with ing, then add ly instead. If the string length, if the length of the given string is less than 3, leave it unchanged. Just a lot of if-else conditions you have to write. Okay, you just have to write a lot of if-else conditions. So the first thing is that um, if the length of the string, let's actually create a method here, define whatever question 5. It takes in a string. Right? First thing that you'll check if the length of s is less than 3. If it is less than 3, you will return s as it is. And the next thing that you will check is that let's just put it in else and write nested if else. Okay, so say if the last 3 characters are so -3, -2, -1. Yeah, so I'll start from -3 and go till the end. This is equal to ing um, s of this. Um, then I'll return S plus Ly. Okay, else I'll return um, S plus in. Okay, so if I give ABC here, I'm getting the output as expected. If I give string, I'm getting stringly, and if I give this, I'll get the same string back. Okay, so just if else conditions here. Alright, so here you have to write a program to get a single string from two given strings separated by a space and swap the first two characters of each string. Okay, so here let's define another method. It takes in two strings, S1 and S2, and it returns a single string. So it returns a single string separated by a space, and also it swaps the first two characters of each string. Okay, so if you want to swap the first two characters, so the first two characters, you'll go from 0 till index 2. Okay, and this will start from 2 till the end. Then here you will add S1, which will go from 0 till 2, plus S2, which will go from 2 till the end. That's it. I give A, B, C and X, Y, Z. As in the above example, I should get back X, Y, C space A, B, Z. And that is what I get back. Okay, so basic string indexing question. Nothing, uh, nothing that you guys can't handle, like I suppose, right? So yeah, so yeah, so basically after this, we have question 7, which is an MCQ question. So let's also quickly discuss that. Yeah. So the first part of question 7 is, which of the following statement is correct? Can someone answer this in the chat? What do you think is the answer to this question? List is immutable and tuple is mutable. The second option is that list is mutable and tuple is immutable. Third option is both are immutable. So, and the fourth option is that both are immutable. So, which is correct? Can you answer in the chat? B. Right. So, that is correct. B is right. So, here the answer is B. List is mutable. Yeah. So, list is mutable and tuple is immutable is right. Now, what about the second part? Suppose a list with name ARR contains 5 elements. You get the second element from the list using which of these? Correct. Option D is right here. Alright, now how to get the last element of a list in Python? Suppose we have a list with name ARR and contains 5 elements. If it contains 5 elements, how would you get the last element? Yeah. Again, the answer is D. Actually, in the fourth part, none of the options are correct. So how to copy one list to another in Python? Um, None of them are correct because in none of these options you are actually making a copy. To make a copy, you'll have to explicitly say L1 is equal to L2 dot copy. You have to use this copy method to create a copy. Otherwise, you're just creating a new pointer. So if you would answered L1 is equal to L2, this is wrong. None of the options are correct in this question. Alright. Final question is that suppose a tuple contains 10 elements. How can you set the fifth element of the tuple to hello? What is the answer of the uh, last question here? Yeah. Yeah. So again, this is a trick question. You cannot set the value of elements in a tuple. Tuples are immutable. Okay. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll see you next week, next Tuesday, Wednesday, next Wednesday. Yeah. So, um, yeah, today was a problem solving day. We'll continue studying in the next session.